goddess, white people, leave black people alone about this plantation burning to the ground. Leave them alone. You don't get to tell them how to feel about it. You don't get to tell them how to react about it. Stop making videos about how sad it was that it burned down, and leave black people alone. Leave them alone. They have every right to feel their very valid feelings about this plantation burning down. Stop. You know what? Take this opportunity to learn something. Shut your mouth, open your ears, and listen to the videos and learn something. Practice a little empathy. God, white people are not okay. We are not okay. Oh my goddess, white people, leave black people alone about this plantation.
Through NRCS.
Girl.
I need your help to save my farm and many other farms. I want to give you guys an update on what we figured out with our contractor NRCS. So to give you some backstory, if you haven't watched the previous video, please go out, watch that previous video I've got on there. We are possibly going to lose our farm if NRCS doesn't hold up their contract with us on the EQIP program.
Girl.
I need your help to save my farm and many other farms.
Hold on, so let me get this straight. The white farmers in Louisiana, they're mad because people of color won't come work on their farms for $11 an hour in 100-degree heat for 10 plus hours a day. Let me run that back. White farmers are mad. The very farmers that voted Republican, okay, they voted for this, are mad that people of color won't come work on their farms for $11 an hour in 100-degree heat for 10 plus hours a day. I'm saying you get what you ask for. Hey, it's FAFO type shit, okay? But hey, don't be fooled. I feel like it's gonna come to a point where they're finna make people get on their farms. Don't count me to it. Because if 2025 was a checklist, hey.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. White farmers thought they didn't need black people anymore, but now they are begging us to come save their farms. Guys, let's watch the video. Remember, the credit goes to the director of the video. I'll be back in a few minutes.
Others are waking up, realizing they were sold a bill of goods by a man who never cared about them in the first place. The division is growing, and the irony is almost too rich. After years of chanting "drain the swamp," they're now realizing that the biggest swamp creature of them all was the one they worshipped.
If you're a Trump supporter, just know that there are 4 things that everybody who's not a Trump supporter thinks about you. And so far, you've done nothing to disprove these things. 1, you're uneducated. And I don't mean uneducated in the sense that you didn't go to school and learn to read or do basic arithmetic. I mean, you're uneducated as far as what's going on in the world. You got goggles on, only paying attention to what you want to pay attention to. Dose, you lack empathy. You don't care what happens to somebody else as long as it doesn't happen to you. Imagine for a moment the government started saying, hey, your marriage is illegal. How would you feel about that? How would you feel about that? But you don't care that it's happening to gay people as long as it doesn't happen to you. 3, you lack independent thinking skills, meaning you are incapable of forming your own thoughts, opinions, or viewpoints on things. You need pundit talking points from Fox News or whatever that other OAN. You need those people to tell you what to believe. You don't have the ability to look into those claims and maybe think something else. It's a confirmation bias. You live in this bubble and you refuse to step outside of it. 4, and I think this is the most important one. I think this is the one you really need to work on if you have the ability, and that is critical thinking. Critical thinking is the ability to look at a situation and say to yourself, you know what, that's kind of fucked up. That's not right, and you can't do that. So I look forward to all the laughing emoji reactions to this video because the people that I just made these claims about don't have the ability to defend themselves. So if they do so just with the laughing emoji. So fire away.
Okay, guys, many white farmers voted for anti-immigration policies and supported leaders who promised to keep America traditional. That's true. Because now farmers, they are suffering. They don't get any workers anymore. And they are crying. But now they are facing a problem. The cheap immigrant labor they depend on is gone. They are no longer there. They are no longer there, really. And black Americans are not rushing to work on those farms. Shows how they never thought about the long-term results of their own choices. So they make this choice, and then you see here and there the crops are dying, the farms really are going down and down. So guys, let's keep watch the video. I'll be back.
To soybean to hay producers, all of them are starting to say, I never thought that voting for Trump 3 times would result in me losing tens of thousands of dollars. A beekeeper out of North Carolina says, yeah, I proudly voted for Trump all 3 times. I flew flags for him and put signs for him in the yard. But now I'm out tens of thousands of dollars due to lost federal funding and tariffs, so I cannot export my products, my honey and my wax, to other countries like I could before, and nobody's buying it in the United States. Hay producers in Idaho and Utah that export alfalfa hay to China are now seeing 135% tariffs put on their product, and all of a sudden, they don't have anywhere to ship it. They held it all winter in hopes of sending it off to China in the spring, and now China's not willing to buy. Soybean producers are once again being hit harder than they were in the first Trump administration, and China, for its part, has diversified where it pulls these products from.
Them farmers really thought we was going back to them fields. They really thought we was going back to them fields. You know what? My mother was the first generation on her mother's side not to be brought up on a plantation. Not to be brought up on a plantation. That's what I said. My grandfather had a 3rd grade education, but he left my mama 2 houses, property in the bank, property and money in the bank, with a 3rd grade education. And guess what? He worked in fields. My great grandmother worked in fields and cut that cane just like a man. You hear me? And if you think that Eddie Lewis and Victoria C. Jones and all the rest of my ancestors bust their tail in them fields for us to go back to the fields, absolutely not. That's not progress. We're trying to heal from ancestral trauma. We're trying to heal from that. That ain't happening. That produce could rot in them fields before we go back to them fields. They need to let them know that.
Okay, guys. Black people have a deep history with farming in America. Our ancestors built this country's agriculture through slavery and sharecropping. But now, after all the disrespect and injustice, why would black people return to the same fields where they were once exploited? Farmers are realizing they cannot just demand labor from the very people they mistreated for centuries. Guys, I think that you see black people, they have a big history with agriculture, American agriculture. But now agriculture are collapsing. So let's continue to watch the clip. I'll be back.
So I was on YouTube and I came across this video claiming that white farmers are outraged that black people do not want to work on their farms. And I thought it was fake because I was like, this has to be like clickbait or whatever. So I searched and I came across Facebook, and y'all, the comments were wild. I still wasn't sure if it was real. So I tried to go to the staffing agency's website, and y'all, apparently so many people went to their website that the website crashed. So I figured, okay, maybe this is actually real. So they're basically offering $11 an hour to pick blueberries, 9 to 10 hours a day, 7 days a week, from May to July in Louisiana heat. Now, I never heard of Laranger, so I decided to look it up real quick. So here's some info. And just so you know, my source is this website called places.us.com. So anyway, livability is a C-. Population is less than 6,000. Demographics is almost 91% white, followed by black, then Hispanic, then Indian, then Asian, and pretty much zero Hawaiian. I saw that they voted Republican in 2020, but it probably doesn't take a genius to guess how they voted in 2024. So that's just to give you a little info about the town. So anyway, back to what I was saying. So $11 an hour is what they're offering. Full-time, 7 days a week, 9 to 10 hours a day. Now, according to salary.com, Louisiana's minimum wage is $7.25 an hour. So this is a bump. But let's be real. Now, for some people, they might say, oh, it's a job. Go work it. It's a job. But it's not a job, you know. It's more like a sentence. And then when you look at who they expect to take these jobs, you don't have to guess. It's a page straight out of history. Black folks, migrant workers, you know, the ones who are currently facing deportation right now. Vulnerable communities getting used for back-breaking labor for pennies. But people are saying this is what they voted for. So what do you think? Is it FAO season or what?
Okay, some farmers are literally panicking, saying the farms will collapse without black workers. But here is the truth. This is not just about farming. It's about power. They believed they could survive without black people, but reality is showing them otherwise. The system they built is now turning against them. You already see how the white farmers, they are crying every day. The crops are dying, whatever and whatever. So if the system, what they choose, it's turning to them. Yourself, you see it every day, every single day. So guys, let's watch the clip. I'll be back with more commentary.
So I'm a black farmer, and a lot of people are wondering, why are black farmers not panicking like a lot of white farmers? Well, let me explain to you the reasons why. It's because white farmers have been handed everything to them, a lot of them. Not saying all of them, but a good bit of them. And by that I mean this. You know, MLK even pointed out, he says, you know, farmers in the West and the Midwest who were white, they were given land, they were given money, they were given training, they were given a lot. Whereas the black farmers weren't given anything, and the largest civil rights settlement in U.S. history is Pickford v. Glickman, where you had a class action lawsuit, bunch of black farmers all joined the lawsuit, and they won a huge settlement because the USDA was shown to be racist for decades. So because black farmers haven't been given anything, we've been learning to do without, unlike your white farmers. So when things are taken away from you, all your subsidies, all your tax breaks, guess what? You panic. Whereas we've always been going through this shit. So there's problems in privilege.
It's 7:30 a.m. in humid North Florida, the beginning of a long day on a large farm where hired workers are in the middle of harvesting roughly 2.2 million watermelon, about 32 million pounds worth, over the course of about 6 weeks, with more than 150 people working to harvest the watermelon. I asked farm owner Trevor Bass this question. How many U.S. citizens pick crops on your farm? None. Zero. Actually, on this day, there is one U.S. citizen, me. I requested a chance to work for one day on this farm to learn more about why so many farmers have such a difficult time getting Americans to work on their farms.
Okay, so this watermelon is ripe, it's ready. We turn it over so the yellow part is on top, so then the people who pick it up know it's ready because they see the yellow part on top.
Everyone I'm working with here is from Mexico, all part of the U.S. government's guest worker program known as H-2A. American farmers can hire foreign nationals under the H-2A program as long as they follow strict provisions, which include only hiring them after trying to employ Americans first, which this farm owner did, and got no takers.
The idea is we have this chain here, and we're going to be taking these watermelons, putting them on this bus, and we're going to be doing it for hours straight.
Dustin Blank is a farmer and also represents other farms when selling finished product to stores.
I own 2 farming operations.
And you represent how many farms?
Over 30.
And how many U.S. citizens do you know of who work on any of those farms?
Short of management, 0.
Under H-2A, guest workers can't get paid less than Americans. Florida's minimum H-2A salary is $14.33 an hour. And at this farm, the Mexicans are permitted to work for as many hours as they want, with extra bonuses for the amount of work done. They can easily make more than $1,000 a week. They are subject to income tax. Edgar Hernandez is a husband and father who sends all his money home to his family. I ask him why he doesn't think there are any Americans harvesting with him.
Es pesado.
It's heavy, he says. The work is hard. These farm owners don't disagree with that assessment. Americans have other choices and just don't want to do this, they say.
Okay. For years, white farmers believed they had control of Americans' farming system. They depend on immigrants for cheap labor, while at the same time supporting policies that pushed these very workers out. They ignored the fact that farming in America has always relied on the labor of people of color. First African slaves, then black sharecroppers, and later Latinos, migrant workers. They didn't think about this. They simply just only support a system which are pushing all these people out and say we don't care what will come, just we know our farm will be safe. But the reality is now, you see yourself right now, acting shocked that no one wants to return to these conditions. This situation also exposed a bigger truth about America. The same people should say they didn't need black folks or who support policies that harm immigrants are the first one crying out when their survival is on the line. They fail to see that America has always depended on the very communities it's tried to push down. So when white farmers go nuts asking black people to save their farms, they are really asking us to rescue a system that never disrespect us in the first place. But here is the wake-up call. Times have changed. Black Americans are no longer in a position where they have to take those low payments. Black breaking farm jobs. Many black people moved on to other industries, pursued educations, technology, businesses, and careers that offer dignity and fair pay. Farming was never just work for us. It was a system of exploitations that drained black families for generations. Yeah, guys, it was not really a black job. It was a system of exploitation. Now, white farmers are realizing something they didn't want to admit. They cannot run their farms without black labor or immigrant workers. And instead of fixing the system, they are begging for help. But why should we? That's a question, guys. I think that I'll get a comment in the comment section. Why should black people keep carrying the weight of a country that refuses to honor their humanity? The lesson here is powerfully. You cannot build a future on exploitation and expect it to last. The land remembers, history remembers, and now the consequences are being felt. At the end of the day, this is not just about farms. It's about justice, respect, and the reality that without black people, without immigrants, America cannot survive. This is a truth. Maybe now they will finally understand the value of the people they tried to cast aside. Guys, thank you very much for watching. Remember to put the comment in the comment section. Thank you for your subscribe. I really appreciate. See you for the next video.